Hi, I'm Andy Staples from Andy and Ari on 3, and another five-star quarterback just entered the transfer portal. That's what college football is now, a nonstop adventure, and we cover it every day at Andy and Ari on 3, whether it's the transfer portal, the college football playoff, the coaching carousel, you name it. And guess what? It doesn't stop even when the season ends. So join us every day, Monday through Friday. New episodes drop at 3 p.m. wherever you get your podcasts.
Happy holidays. Want to give your host a gift? Consider subscribing, rating, and reviewing the show this holiday season. It really helps the show grow. From all of us at Believe, have a Merry Christmas, everyone, and a happy holiday.
Looking for these better days.
It is Monday, December 29th. I'm Scott Seidenberg. Here's what you need to know to make today a better day. We are finally at the final week of the NFL regular season. Almost. We still have one more game tonight to wrap up week 17, but several matchups will determine playoff spots and playoff seedings. And our Super Bowl future still looking pretty good after last night. Mackenzie Rivers joins me on this episode of Better Day, presented by FanDuel. Mackenzie, we're in that weird gap between Christmas and New Year's where no one knows what day it is.
Right.
Everyone's still wearing sweatpants. You watch whatever series that you're watching. You have to finish at least one or two seasons of it. And all of our diets are just completely thrown out the window. So I just want to remind everybody, today is Monday, okay? and we do have Monday Night Football tonight.
Well said. There should be a time for this time of year. I mean, it's the holidays, but it's special.
It really is. There's just like that. There's just that weird 1 week period in between Christmas and New Year's where it's just not a real time. You know, it's just like this is not real life.
I feel like even people that are working that I interact with have like a chill like last day of school.
Casual Friday
mood about
attitude.
them. Yeah,
So,
exactly.
yeah.
Cool.
Well, we continue working here, and we witnessed an exciting slate of Week 17 football yesterday and on Saturday as well, where playoff spots are being determined. And so we had some confusing results yesterday. We had some exciting results yesterday. Let's do like a version of the good, the bad, and the ugly. What do you think about that?
I love it. Let's go.
Okay, we'll start with the good. The good being for another consecutive, like how many weeks are we going to do this in a row where we're like, this is the game of the year. This is the game of the year. This is the game of the year. But last night really delivered. 49ers outlast the Bears 42-38. Caleb Williams' incomplete pass on the final play of the game secured the victory for the 49ers. This one saw some steam going towards San Francisco. They were a 3.5-point favorite all day. Even with the announcement that George Kittle was going to be out, we still saw them sit at -3.5. It steamed late to close at -4.5. Total closed at 51.5. And the total was almost over in the first half, Mackenzie, as it was 28-21 at the end of the first half. Brock Purdy, the very first play of the game, is a deflected pass that winds up being a pick six. So after that pick six to open up the game, Brock Purdy goes 24 of 32 for 303 yards and 3 touchdowns, including 2 rushing touchdowns yesterday. And I retweeted.
So 5 touchdowns, not including 2 rushing touchdowns, and 2 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah. And I tweeted out last night, and I had a bunch of people, up in my mentions about my 49ers Super Bowl take, my Brock Purdy conversation about him being the best quarterback in the NFL. But literally, this kid is playing like the best quarterback in the NFL. How did you sum up his performance last night, and what do you make of Brock Purdy over the last 3 games or so, or even just the entire season, Mackenzie? What do you make of your quarterback?
Let's go entire season. This is a man who spent most of the first 6 months of this year, if not 10 months of this year, being severely doubted by a lot of loud 49ers fans and followers and media types for deserving a $50 million contract, which over the length of its contract, I think will average around 12th to 15th on highest paid quarterback per year. So not like they're breaking the banks, breaking records with this guy, but 7th round pick, I get it. What has he done? Didn't even win a Super Bowl in his first 2 years. A lot of people had questions. Now, after 8 games, 7-1, the best QBR in the league, 10 total touchdowns in the last 2 games. I'm just very curious how all those detractors are feeling right now. Because, yeah, Mac Jones, great. 15th best quarterback in the league. We did fine with him. Brock Purdy's been absolutely hitting the cover off the ball. And, yeah, bad throw on the first pick. Deserved to be intercepted. Unlucky that it was intercepted for a pick 6. But, I mean, the best quarterback in the league this year on a per-play basis is not out of the question. You know, EPA per play would say that.
He is number 1 in the NFL in EPA per dropback. He is number 1 in the NFL in success rate and number 1 in the NFL in QBR. I'd say, yeah, that top 5 is being a little bit disingenuous when it comes to Brock Purdy. He's the number 1 quarterback in the NFL right now. At least that's what the numbers tell us. And yes, yeah. He hasn't played a full season, okay, so he's not in the conversation with Matthew Stafford for being the MVP. But again, number 1 in EPA per dropback, number 1 in success rate, and number 1 QBR. That is Brock Purdy.
And we saw why he's so different from the other quarterbacks that have succeeded in this system. Jimmy Garoppolo, Mac Jones, Nick Mullins at times could hit the same beats that's wide open that Purdy could, but Purdy can do that maybe more efficiently than the other ones. And we saw what he did towards the goal line and throughout the game with his legs. He's not unlike a Patrick Mahomes, really, when he gets out of the pocket. It's something that Mike Shanahan had it with John Elway, but Kyle Shanahan has dreamt of this his whole life. Hopefully he can stay healthy for more than 3 games in a row.
And now the 49ers are in control, as they were coming into this game, in control of their path to the number 1 seed and home field advantage throughout the playoffs and even through the Super Bowl, because the Super Bowl is in their home stadium. It all comes down to Week 18. We're going to get to Week 18 coming up here in just a few minutes. But for the Bears, Caleb Williams, 25 of 42 passing, 330 yards, 2 touchdowns, and the 1 incomplete pass at the end that cost them the game.
I'm hearing a lot of people say, the Bears offense just came up that short, just one play short. The 49ers defense did not win this game. The Bears offense did not lose this game. The clock won this game. And I think that's important because the whole drive, Collinsworth and Tirico were saying, time doesn't really matter. They're going to get the last possession. Use your timeout on a dead ball on 4th down. Doesn't matter. It was 2nd down when the game ended because they didn't care about the clock, and that was the difference. By the way, the live line was very interesting. When Collinsworth was saying, I'd rather be the Bears, they are favored. It was actually minus 300 San Francisco to start that drive, all the way up around that range until the 4th down. And then they get it. There's 30 seconds left. They're at the 26, and the Bears are minus 150 favorites. I thought that was a bad line, put up at least at DraftKings that I was looking at. The Vegas play-by-play, the NFL play-by-play feed, said the 49ers were still favored. 26 seconds left, 1 timeout. I feel like the books got that wrong.
Remember in the Creed movie when Adonis asks Rocky, how good was he? Meaning Apollo. And he's like, yeah, he was the best. He was the best. He goes, all right, so then how'd you beat him? And Rocky goes, time. Time takes everybody out. Time's undefeated. Except it was more like, time takes everybody out. Time's undefeated. Because he's right.
Do you do Sylvester Stallone better than Sylvester Stallone?
How did he beat Apollo in the rematch? He got up before the 10 count, and Apollo didn't get up before the 10 count. Remember, they both knocked each other down, right? Spoiler alert, Rocky 2. So Time beats everybody. Time beat the Chicago Bears last night.
Time and score. It's all about time and score.
Time beat the Chicago Bears last night against the San Francisco 49ers. Bears no longer in control of getting the number 1 seed in the NFC. However, they can still lock up the number 2 seed. They have the tiebreaker over the Philadelphia Eagles, and so as long as they win in Week 18, it doesn't matter if the Eagles win also, the Bears will be the 2 seed in the NFC playoff picture. Should the Bears lose in Week 18 and the Eagles win, then the Eagles would slide to the 2 seed and the Bears would drop down to the 3 seed. Now, why are the Eagles still in play for the 2 seed? Let's continue the good conversation, and that is the Eagles beating the Bills 13-12. Good because it's a good measuring stick game for both of these teams. Maybe not so much the entertainment value. It was pouring rain, and really the Eagles' offense was non-existent. They scored all 13 points in the first half. The Bills scored the 2 touchdowns late, and if not for a blocked extra point on the first touchdown in the fourth quarter, the Bills would have been in position to win the football game. But instead, they went for 2 for the win, which was the right move, Mac. Like, I saw some people online that were confused about the Bills' decision to go for 2 at the end instead of kicking the extra point to try and tie the game. You have to go for 2 there because this is something, and I talked to Fez about this last night. The tie doesn't help the Bills. A tie would give the Patriots the division. So the only way that the Bills could have won the division is if they beat the Eagles and then beat the Jets next week and the Patriots lose to the Dolphins next week. If the Bills tied against the Eagles, they don't win the division. So let's say a tie happens, especially in that rain, right? And the way that game played out where nobody was scoring until the Bills scored on their final 2 drives. Let's say a tie happens 10 to 20% of the time, right? That you play a 10-minute period. 10 to 20% of the time. Well, the 2-point conversion's a 50-50 proposition. So you got a 50% chance to win the game on that 2-point conversion, or you go into overtime where you have a 45% chance, 40% chance to win. Right. The Eagles have a 40% chance to win, and there's a 15 to 20% chance that the game that the game ties, right? If you call it 20%, then it's 40-40-20, right? Well, you cut out that 20%, and now it's 50-50. You win or you lose by that 2-point conversion. I thought it was the correct move there to try to win the game.
I just thought it was because they wanted to win the game. They liked their play. I mean, it's generally a coin flip call whether to get a 50% chance to win on the 2-point conversion or go to overtime. But the way you broke it down makes it a no-brainer. If they had anyone working in the analytics department, you broke it down perfectly. You don't care about your expected wins. You care about your percent chance to have 1.0 wins at the end of the day. When you go to overtime, you're right. You have a 45, 46% chance to win. Going for 2, if you're bad at 2-point conversions, you have a 48% chance to win at that point, and that's all you care about. So no brainer when you break it down like that. You can't have a tie.
Yeah, you have to eliminate the tie and people are saying, oh, well, who cares like if they tie or whatever. What do you mean who cares if they tie? That's the only reason why the Bills even played Josh Allen in this game. Because if the Bills didn't care about winning the division, you're resting all your starters. But they care about winning the division, and the only way they can win the division is if they got the win there yesterday. The tie would have eliminated them. So the Patriots do win the AFC East. So congratulations to the Pats. We'll continue on one more good, Mackenzie, before we get to the bad and the ugly. The one more good would be the good call by us on the Jacksonville Jaguars over the Indianapolis Colts. I did not understand the steam towards the Indianapolis Colts to the point where the Jags closed as a 3.5-point favorite. They went from 6.5 to 5.5 to 4.5 to 3.5. Made no sense. Now, was it a closer game than we would have liked? Sure. But did we cash on our Phillip Rivers unders? Yes. He under passing yards, winner. Under longest completion, once again, winner. He did play the majority of the game. And when it was all said and done, the Jaguars get the 6-point win, 23-17. So I want to thank everybody for suppressing this line down. But this is the one thing that really bothered me yesterday. I heard people that I actually have a little bit of respect for. Not a little bit. That's rude. I do respect some of these people. And I heard people that I respect actually suggest that we bet Phillip Rivers to go over his passing yardage because he was a certain amount of yards away from passing Ben Roethlisberger for 6th on the all-time passing list. And that's why Phillip Rivers was playing in this game. Because even though the Colts were eliminated, Phillip Rivers wants to pass Big Ben for 6th on the all-time passing list. So we got to bet his over passing yards. To that I say, Phillip, you're telling me that Phillip Rivers cares so much about passing Ben Roethlisberger on the all-time passing list that he changed his mind after 5 years to care about 270 yards now. Because if he cared about throwing for 300 yards, Mackenzie, he could have cared 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3
Joe
years
Flacco
ago,
stayed in the league
2 years ago,
for a while.
Last year. So now 5 years after retirement, he realizes, oh, you know what? I'm only 274 yards away from Big Ben. Let me continue playing. Shut up. What a dumb reason to bet an over, a stupid over, by the way.
Right.
He finishes 17 of 30 for 147 yards. Thank you for the cash on the under passing yards. Thank you for once again cashing on the under his longest reception prop, which at some books closed at 31.5 yards. I mean, come on.
His longest the one that we cashed on for 2 weeks, and we said this is a dumb line. They're not.
Yes.
They've only thrown it for
Yes.
20 yards.
Yes.
Wow.
Well,
They
because
moved it up.
because we lost it last week on the final pass of the game.
Oh yeah, you're right.
When
it was
Alec
still the
Pierce,
best bet. Yeah, they
when
were
Alec
good
Pierce had the catch and run for 33 yards, we lost it on the final pass of the game. So think about that. We almost hit this for 3 consecutive weeks. The one loss was on the final pass. So it's just yeah. Well,
Here's why I take pride in being somewhat of an anti-fun bettor, like betting Phillip Rivers under 209.5, which was a good bet. I hadn't even heard that asinine theory about Ben Roethlisberger.
Yep.
Content creators are going to create content. Why are most bets, if you ask ChatGPT, hey, find me 10 bets online that are people recommending, if there's an over-under component, ChatGPT will say these are the 10 overs that people recommended. Because you can't write a story that makes sense generally that's like, oh yeah, that's why they're going to do it. Unless it's an over, it's a thing happening, and people just get way overzealous about it. That's the dumbest. He doesn't call the plays. Does no input on getting more passing yards. It's so dumb.
Yeah, he's gonna do all those checks at the line of scrimmage to make sure that he doesn't hand the ball off.
Why are you doing hot route all go? I don't know. That's what he wanted. That's what he wanted.
It's so dumb. It's so dumb. Here's one more good. The New Orleans Saints win their 4th straight game. Tyler Shuck throws for 333 yards and 2 touchdowns. Mackenzie, he is now the second favorite at plus 120 up on FanDuel to be the Rookie of the Year, and I'm telling you right now, he's going to win this award. Panthers wide receiver Teteroa McMillan has really disappeared as of late. Meanwhile, Tyler Shuck has shown over the last month or so that he deserves to be a starting quarterback in this league, and he is doing it with a shell of a roster. No Alvin Kamara, right? He lost his backup running back also in Devin Neal. Olave's been up and down, even though, once he's healthy, like he's great. He had 119 yards yesterday. But this has been it's a shell of a roster. It's a terrible team. And Tyler Shuck is balling out to the point where he has to be the bet to be the offensive rookie of the year right now.
It's so interesting that there's 1 week left that doesn't matter at all for the Saints anyway. It matters for the Panthers. And it's so close. I feel like it's decided. It's not going to change very much. And I agree. The narrative points to Tyler Shuck. 4 wins in a row. The Saints cashed their win total over after a terrible start to the season today. It's a vote. It's a voting award. So it's like, what numbers do you want to look at? But it seems like he's going to get more attention at the end of the year when they're thinking about it.
Yeah, I think Tyler Shuck wins this award. Let's talk about the bad. The bad, Mackenzie. The bad is the Tampa Bay Bucks losing to the Miami Dolphins 20-17, 1-7 since their bye week. The Tampa Bay Bucks. I could not have been more wrong about this game. I thought that it looked sloppy because they were still trying to work in all their pieces together on offense, and Baker just needed time to get all of his pieces back. But you have your full complement of weapons in this game. And by full complement of weapons, I mean you got Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Jalen McMillan, Emeka Ibuka, Cade Otton, Bucky Irving, Rashad White, Sean Tucker. You got your full complement of weapons. You barely score 17 points against the Miami Dolphins. You allow Quinn Ewers to march up and down the field against you and beat you. I mean, this was a bad performance here, and I mean, Todd Bowles he's got to be gone. I think you can't go. You can't. And what's disgusting about this is that this 7-9 team now will play for the division next week and a home playoff game.
Yeah, and it won't be the first time that if they win, and they're about 60% by Vegas to win it, that they will have won the division going 8-9. They did that in Tom Brady's last year. I would say for Todd Bowles, you can't win the division every single year that you've been a coach and be fired.
Yeah, but how many? But all of these years that he's winning the division, like what are we
It's
talking
been a
about?
terrible division.
It's like
and the team hasn't been that good.
3 years in a row that they're winning the division while having a losing record after like a certain week or something like that.
Right. But they weren't in a position that was so dissimilar from where the Saints were doing when Drew Brees left, which is they owed Tom Brady $30 million on the cap. I mean, I know that's years ago now, but they weren't supposed to be a great team. The fact that they're an average team I think Todd Bowles is an average coach. I think Baker Mayfield is an average quarterback. I think it's all right. The way it happened, though, yeah, he's going to be on the hot seat for sure. They are very much like the Colts. I mean, the Bucs were 5-1. The Colts were 7-1. Both are going to miss the playoffs. Both will end up with probably 8 or 9 wins. The difference is Baker Mayfield, after he got hurt, came back and maybe should have stayed out because he's been terrible, where Daniel Jones was done for the season and the Colts were done. It's not like I'm defending Bowles like he should definitely keep the job. But, I mean, maybe other coaches should be on the hot seat just as much.
Well, they were bad. Their opponent next week was bad also. Panthers lose to the Seahawks 27-10 in almost what was an identical game script to the Seahawks win against the Atlanta Falcons a couple of weeks ago, where it was a 6-6 game at the half, and then the Seahawks blew them out in the second half. It's kind of what we saw here. This was a 3-3 game at the half, and then it was a 24-7 second half win by the Seattle Seahawks. So, and Darnold didn't do much, but then again, didn't have to do much here against the Carolina Panthers. Also bad, the Arizona Cardinals, who it seems like their only purpose in life, I saw this meme online yesterday, the Arizona Cardinals' only purpose in life is to lose by 20 in the afternoon games because they're just non-competitive. Jacoby Brissett, whatever. Congratulations to Trey McBride, who sets the record for receptions by a tight end, but just an absolute embarrassing performance once again by the Cardinals. Congratulations to the Bengals, 37-14 winners. Now let's talk.
So money came in on the Cardinals. Just looking at it here,
Closed at 7.
Yeah, it was 7.5 most of the week. Here are the teams that the market came in the last 24 hours: Bills, loser.
Yep.
Cardinals, loser. Steelers, which
loser.
We made sense, loser. Colts, like a lot of money, loser.
Yep.
The 49ers actually closed 4.5, so that would have lost if you would have got the number. What is going on with the market where there's like some terrible bettor with millions of dollars to lose on Saturday that's affecting these lines and losing every single game?
I would love to find that person out and
right?
Imagine it's like the person, it's like we all know, we've all seen those like social media accounts where like the people flaunt their money. And it's like, like all the sports bettors. It's like the guys that tell you, I'm going all in on this play tonight. Or Vegas made $1 million mistake. Or I'm betting my land. Like I made the jokes before. Or even like the guys that like they show all the cash on the videos. And they're like, they're afraid to take my money. They're afraid to take my money. It's like, no, they're not. Jeff Benson at Circa will take all the money you want. Like, shut up. Like, like they're afraid to take your money. It's like, and then the best part about it is like when you see these tickets for big amounts of money, and you're like, ooh, wow, like this guy's a really good sports bettor.
Really sharp angle or something.
Yeah, and it's like, no, he's not a really good sports bettor, because if he was a really good sports bettor, well then guess what? Like the bet
he wouldn't be posting his tickets.
and he
even if that was like a good bet, you wouldn't necessarily want to flaunt it. And more importantly, the books wouldn't take it after a few of those.
Yeah, exactly. You'd get like 1 or 2, and then you're done, But anyway, yeah, you're right. Who's moving the markets that's losing all of these games? It's crazy. Let's talk about the ugly. So we did the good, we did the bad. Let's talk about the ugly, Mackenzie. We can just I'll just give me 2 seconds. The Jets, ugly. They feel like it feels like watching an FCS team against an FBS team in college football. You know, like the Division 2 team playing against a Division 1 team. That's what it looks like.
I think Tyrod Taylor had a winning record with this team.
Yeah, I mean,
is he like the most valuable player in football?
I mean, this was literally like putting the winner of the American Athletic Conference in the college football playoff.
Right.
You know, Tulane against Ole Miss here. 42-10, Patriots beat the Jets. The Toilet Bowl was ugly. Giants, a 34-10 win over the Raiders. And I do want to defend the tanking thing here for another minute because, I mean, there was a video that was put out on social media of me, you know, talking about how players don't tank and don't be surprised if the Raiders, like, win this game. I didn't bet the Raiders to win this game, okay? I wouldn't touch this game with your money. But what I do still believe, players do not tank. You know, if you think the players tried to lose that game on purpose, then go ask them to their face. Like, go ask Geno Smith or Ashton Genty if they tried to lose that game. You think Geno Smith wants the Raiders to replace him? So he wanted to lose on purpose to help the Raiders replace him? You think Pete Carroll, who's not going to be the coach here next year, wants to lose so that his replacement gets the number 1 overall pick? You think, like, he wants another loss on his record? Like, yes, the organization sat their 2 best players and shut them down for the season in Brock Bowers and Max Crosby. But that was not so that they can lose this game. If they lose this game, it's just a bonus byproduct. They shut them down because they're their most valuable assets. And especially a guy like Max Crosby, who's going to be a trade commodity in the offseason, the last thing the Raiders need is for him to get hurt even further in a meaningless Week 17 or Week 18 game. So it was a genius move by the decision to sit those guys. And yes, they wound up losing to the Giants in a game. And this is what I tweeted out yesterday. Players don't tank, but they can suck. and maybe the Raiders just suck. Okay?
Like it.
The Raiders just suck. That's it. Now for the ugliest of the ugly, Mackenzie Rivers. The Pittsburgh Steelers losing to the Cleveland Browns 13-6. We saw the steam on this. We agreed with the steam on this. I bet the Steelers -3 as soon as the Ravens won that game. It closed at, 4.5, I think, right? And it made sense. Why in the world would the Steelers want to be in a position to play on a rest disadvantage, because the Ravens had an extra day against them, right? At a rest disadvantage against the Baltimore Ravens team with no DK Metcalf, with potentially no J.J. Watt, and giving Lamar Jackson 2 weeks to rest up from his injury so he can come back and play against you. When all you had to do was go out there and beat Shedeur Sanders and the Cleveland Browns. And the fact that the Pittsburgh Steelers could only muster up 3 points, they couldn't get a freaking touchdown against the Cleveland Browns, was one of the ugliest performances of the season, maybe. This is something that confused me a lot. And I'm never going to claim that I know more than an NFL coach, okay? And yes, it's very easy for us to sit here after the fact and play what ifs and play, armchair quarterback, and hindsight's 2020. We know that. But the Cleveland Browns over the last month of the season have been torched on the ground. They allowed the last 4 games that they have played, they allowed those running backs to go for over 100 yards. I think maybe one of them had like 98 yards. Might have been DeAndre Swift had 98 yards. But anyway, James Cook goes over 100. It was, I think, Tony Pollard had 161. Christian McCaffrey had a monster game. McCaffrey had a subpar game. But it was Pollard, 161. It was Swift, 98. It was 117, I think it was, from James Cook. Like, the last 3 weeks, it's clear. The Browns, schematically, on defense, are trying to get Myles Garrett the sack record instead of stopping the run. So they're doing these twists and these different types of, stunts on the defensive line to try and free up Myles Garrett. So they're not so much worried about stopping the run, and it's obvious, but the results speak for themselves. They're worried about, maybe taking an offensive tackle away from guarding Myles Garrett to free him up, right? Jaylen Warren actually was pretty successful on the ground. He had 12 carries for 64 yards. I promise you, Mackenzie Rivers, if that 12 number was 18, the Steelers win this football game. why Aaron Rodgers drops back to pass 39 times against the Cleveland Browns in poor weather when every team over the last month has been running over 100 yards over them. What's Arthur Smith doing? What's Aaron Rodgers doing? What's Mike Tomlin doing? This was the most pathetic, and you don't have your best receiver. You have no receivers. DK Metcalf wasn't there. All the receivers were not on the same page with Aaron Rodgers. Marquez Valdez-Scantling is turning the wrong way, right? Skoranic's running the wrong routes, or not Skowronek, Scotty Miller's running the wrong routes. Like, you had no offense. Why don't you just hand the ball off to Jaylen Warren and pound the rock like every team has done successfully against the Browns the past month?
Even MVS, who's been with Aaron Rodgers forever, made a wrong turn on that goal line play on the third down, where they threw every down and turned it over on downs. This is kind of classic Mike Tomlin, to win at Detroit last week as a road touchdown dog, and then to blow it as a road favorite. The Steelers throughout his career, 42% now as a road favorite. Just as soon as you expect something from the Steelers, whether to win or to lose, they will turn it around.
And did you hear Myles Garrett's quote after the game?
He was talking about how they were so concerned about not losing the sack record that they lost the game.
Yep. He said that the Steelers were more concerned about preventing him from getting a sack than they were about winning the game. And he's right, because if you look at the numbers, it was like 48% or so of the snaps that like he got chipped by a back. So you're wondering here, and you're sitting here, you're like, whoa, Kenneth Gainwell has been probably the best pass catcher out of the backfield for Aaron Rodgers. Like, look at his game logs. And then you're wondering why Kenneth Gainwell was not involved at all.
Score 17 points, you win the division.
Yeah.
Score 14 points, you win the division.
And you're sitting
nothing
here
all day.
You're sitting here, you're like, okay, well, let me just read you something. Kenneth Gainwell over the past several weeks, you ready for this? He had 5 catches, 78 yards, 7 catches, 46 yards, 6 catches, 27 yards, 6 catches, 30 yards, 7 catches, 81 yards, 4 catches, 35 yards. He's clearly been an incredible weapon for Aaron Rodgers. He had 3 catches for 12 yards yesterday. Why? Because instead of running routes, he was chipping Myles Garrett. And so you're concerned about the sack record as opposed to doing what's best for your football team to win games. And now they're going to lose to the Ravens. Mackenzie, they're 3-point dogs at home against Baltimore next week.
They went from the beginning of Sunday having beginning of Saturday, a 91% chance to win the division by ESPN, to now a 40%. Two results went the other way.
Yep.
Hi, I'm Andy Staples from Andy and Ari on 3, and another 5-star quarterback just entered the transfer portal. That's what college football is now, a nonstop adventure. And we cover it every day at Andy and Ari on 3, whether it's the transfer portal, the college football playoff, the coaching carousel, you name it. And guess what? It doesn't stop even when the season ends. So join us every day, Monday through Friday. New episodes drop at 3 p.m. wherever you get your podcasts.
If you're an HVAC technician and a call comes in, Grainger knows that you need a partner that helps you find the right product, fast and hassle-free. And you know that when the first problem of the day is a clanking blower motor, there's no need to break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product details, you're confident you'll soon have everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
All right, we got Monday Night Football tonight, which will wrap up Week 17. The Rams, 7.5-point favorites up on FanDuel over the Atlanta Falcons. And we'll give a little same-game parlay, some fun for this game tonight. But I want to quickly, Mackenzie, go through the Week 18 odds that we have, and then we'll circle back and get to the same-game parlay for tonight. So of the games that matter, we know we have the Saturday schedule now is Panthers at the Bucks. That's the afternoon game on Saturday. Bucks are 3-point favorites. The winner wins the NFC South. And then the night game is the Seahawks at the 49ers on Saturday night. 49ers 1.5-point favorites up on FanDuel, total of 49.5. The winner wins the NFC West and is the number 1 overall seed in the NFC playoff picture. And then on Sunday, you have to go to the I guess technically there's still a chance. Colts are at the Texans. Houston a 10.5-point favorite. Titans are at
what? Oh, the AFC South? Yeah.
Yes. Titans are at the Jaguars. Jaguars are 10.5-point favorites. So both teams are 10.5-point favorites. Should the Texans lose, should the Texans win and the Jaguars lose, then the Texans can win the division. But again,
it's like a 9% chance.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They're both they're literally both 10.5.
They're both like 90% to win. So you need one 90% to come in and one 10% to come in. So you have a 9% chance.
Yes. So yes, exactly. The battle for the AFC West and potentially the number one seed here is the Chargers are at the Denver Broncos Sunday afternoon. Broncos a 7.5-point favorite. The Broncos with a win will clinch the number one overall seed. So with a win, the Broncos will clinch the number one overall seed. They've already won the division. I'm sorry, the division is not on the line. But with the win,
they get one seed.
Just the number one seed, because the Patriots are still alive for the number one seed. So Broncos beat if the Broncos win against the Chargers, they are the number one seed in the AFC. If the Broncos lose and the Patriots beat the Dolphins, Patriots are 9.5-point favorites. The Patriots are the number one seed. So, and then of course it comes down to Sunday Night Football. NBC gets what they wanted. Mike Tomlin and the Steelers, 3.5-point home dogs on FanDuel.
It moved to 3.5. Okay.
Yeah, against the Baltimore Ravens. And no DK Metcalf. Clearly, we saw how bad this offense is. But the conversation, Mackenzie, is going to start to creep in about Tomlin as a home dog, the dog in this series,
right?
Tomlin versus Lamar. All the numbers are going to tell you to bet the Steelers in this game. I just don't know how you could do it.
I'll probably land there. I mean, just I
might land there too. It's just so frustrating.
Because I don't believe in Baltimore. I mean, Derrick Henry, man, it's crazy how Christian McCaffrey, Saquon Barkley, and Derrick Henry were having terrible seasons, and now they're all like the best running backs again. They all just came back. But Derrick Henry had a Saturday night against the Packers, but I don't suddenly think the Ravens are fixed. Until I see Lamar do something, I'm still going to think they're pretty broken, and it's in Pittsburgh. What I like about Week 18 is each of these matches are rematches, and it tells us a lot about what the market thinks. The Buccaneers were 3-point road favorites at Carolina 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Now they're 3-point home favorites. Major downgrade for Tampa Bay. San Francisco, week 1 of the season, was a road 1-point favorite at Seattle. Now they're a 1-point favorite at home. So major downgrade for the 49ers. Maybe that's not warranted. I kind of like our team heading into Week 18. And what was the other one?
The Steelers. Well, that's what we're talking about.
Oh, yeah, the Steelers. This line is pretty close to what we would expect, considering the Ravens were 6-point road favorites. Now they're 3-point. So I guess all of the hype and upgrade of the Steelers has gone away. They've been downgraded back to where we thought they were 3 weeks ago when it's fire Tomlin.
Yeah, no, it's a great point. Again, listen, I might land on it as well, but my goodness, I can't believe the Steelers let that opportunity slip away. That's so bad. Out of them. All right, Mackenzie, let's talk about Monday Night Football tonight between the Rams and the Falcons. It's going to be a Rams spot. It's just a matter of, what do we want to do? Do we want to lay this many points? Do we want to just stick to the props? If we're building a same-game parlay, I'm going to go to the first place that we should go, which is to follow the trench report and just go with Kyron Williams and Blake Corum, right? That's how this thing has been going. Rams were identified as the number 3 biggest mismatch of the week, the number 1 biggest rushing mismatch of the week here in the trench report. So, I kind of want to go both running backs over their numbers.
I could see it. I see the Rams offense continuing to roll. Their defense has struggled against the Panthers, against the Seahawks last week, but their offense has been number 1 almost every week. Rams still have something to play for. If they win this game and the next game, they're going to face the Buccaneers or the Panthers in the 4-5 matchup. If they lose this game, they're probably facing the Eagles in the 3-6 matchup. So even though they don't have a shot at the 1 seed anymore, definitely a big game for them. Surprised that $1 million Saturday better is on the Falcons. He's moved it from 8 to 7. I guess because Devontae Adams was out is why the market moved. But I like the Rams, and I like the Rams offense here a lot.
All right, so let's go Kyron Williams over 63.5 and Blake Corum over 44.5. We'll call that the first 2 legs being the trench report legs.
Right.
Okay.
I like over 49.5. It's kind of anti-correlated with 2 rushing props, but I do like the over in this game. The Falcons and Kirk Cousins and Kyle Pitts have found something the last few weeks.
So we add the over 48.5 on the game total, and now we're at plus 435 for our 3-leg same game parlay. I feel like if we want to truly make this an anti-correlated same game parlay, we got to go Falcons plus 7.5.
It's definitely anti-correlated to the running backs. I don't mind it. Tell me why do you like it in general?
I only like it just because it jacks up the payout to plus 1168.
All right, but in our mind's eye, can we see? I can strain, but I can see the running backs having a lot of success, enough success to go over, and this game being close and it being a high-scoring game.
Just the Falcons stay alive at home, just a back and forth game, and we see a I don't know, can we see a 28-21 finish? I mean, that
gets us over. Yeah.
I mean, that's perfect, right?
Yeah.
28-21.
Can we bet the exact score? No.
I mean, it's happened before. All right.
True.
So our 4-leg same game parlay, we're going to go with the Falcons plus 7.5, the over 48.5, and then both Rams running backs, Kyren Williams over 63.5 rushing yards, Blake Corum over 44.5 rushing yards. Up on FanDuel, it is plus 1168. Now, here's another one that I will give you. Okay.
By the way, shout out to the community chat with the same game parlay 11-1 on the Trench Report plays.
Yes.
For Sunday Night Football.
Yes, John, in our community chat showed us his ticket plus 1175. He called it the Trench Report parlay for Sunday Night Football. Because in the Trench Report, this was identified, the 49ers and the Bears, as both teams having the rushing edge over each other. Right? This was the number 2 and 3 rushing mismatch of the week. And so he did Christian McCaffrey over his combo rushing and receiving yards, DeAndre Swift combo over rushing and receiving yards, which cashed on that final lateral play, by the way. Caleb Williams over his rushing yards, and Brock Purdy over his rushing yards, plus 1175 cash for John in our A Better Day community chat. So great cash there. John, awesome stuff there. Glad to see you using the Trench Report to get creative. Here's another way to get creative with the Trench Report and with this game, Mackenzie. And I gave it out yesterday when I was on VSiN on Christian McCaffrey. It didn't work out, but here's where you can get really creative up on FanDuel and other sports books. With a guy like Christian McCaffrey and like Derrick Henry and others, like you're getting significantly juiced on the anytime touchdown, right? Like we know that. McCaffrey was minus 250 yesterday. But to score 2 touchdowns, he was at plus 205, which is still ridiculous. Like Kyren Williams tonight to score 2 touchdowns is plus 750. Okay?
Yeah.
So, but oh no, I'm sorry. That's not the plus. That's the first touchdown prop. Kyren Williams to score 2 touchdowns tonight is he is plus 7. Oh, he is plus 750. Wow, that's interesting.
It's really rare to score 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. Okay. But now here's a creative way, and I'll shout out Steven for hitting me up and showing me this. One of our loyal listeners. If you think a guy's going to have 2 touchdowns, you can do a same game parlay with that player to score the first touchdown of the game, and then that player to score 2 touchdowns. So it is a way of maximizing your 2 touchdown bet. Now, are you pigeonholing yourself because you need him to score the first touchdown of the game? Absolutely. But let me just show you what the odds do. Kyren Williams right now is plus 750 to score 2 touchdowns. Kyren Williams is plus 750 to score the first touchdown of the game. If I parlay Kyren Williams to score the first touchdown of the game with Kyren Williams to score 2 touchdowns, it is plus 1716. And so think about this. If you hit the first touchdown, you hit a plus 750 prop. That is amazing. But now the likelihood of that player scoring a second touchdown is extremely high after they score the first touchdown of the game. And now you just need 1 touchdown from Kyren Williams to hit for plus 1700.
What's Kyren Williams to score 1 touchdown in the game?
Plus 105.
So it's pretty much 50-50. So think about it this way. If Kyron Williams doesn't score a touchdown on the first drive, you're not like throwing your ticket away. You're like still 50-50 that he scores a touchdown. So if he scores the first touchdown, the odds don't really change. If anything, they go up because the coach is going to trust him. It's like 50-50 that you cash that 17-1 at that point.
And you think about the players that you can do this with. Derrick Henry has done this multiple times. Derrick Henry did this on Saturday. He scored
Again
four
and
touchdowns.
again.
He scored 4 touchdowns on Saturday. But Derrick Henry has done this before multiple times this year. Christian McCaffrey has done this before. Jahmyr Gibbs has done this before, scoring the first touchdown and then going on to score a second touchdown in the game. And so if you think about it, like, it's just a clever way to maximize or to take it, like, really take advantage of the sports books here and try and get a maximum payout on a prop that they're not necessarily paying you out properly on, if that makes sense. I think Kyron Williams actually did this. No, because he scored the first Rams touchdown against the Lions. Amon-Ra scored the first touchdown of the game. Kyron Williams scored the Rams' first touchdown, but then he also scored a second touchdown later in the game. So you would have cashed that in the Lions game, I guess, if you did it that way. Let's see. Against the 49ers, when he scored 2 touchdowns in that game, he didn't score the first touchdown of the game. So I just think it's interesting. And maybe you can do it instead of the game's first touchdown, maybe the team's first touchdown, because some books allow you to do that as well. Could be just a clever way to do it, though.
And you throw the over on there. You throw the 49ers win the Super Bowl. But you do this if you did the same prop with our same game parlay prop.
Yeah,
probably like 100-1 at that point.
Yeah, exactly. Before we get out of here, we do have 2 World Junior Hockey games coming up here today.
How are you doing in the tournament? I know we had a big win on Canada.
Yeah, I went 2-0 in the first day, but then 0-2 in the second day, and then lost yesterday. So not a good day, not a good start to the tournament. What I'm realizing is, I did realize this on the second day of the tournament. The back-to-backs are impacting these teams. Okay, the United States and Canada barely scoring in their second games when they had massive mismatches shows me that the goaltenders, because the backup goaltenders were in, they were fine, but it was really the tired legs that limited the scoring. And then yesterday, I wanted to fade both teams that were on the second of the back-to-back. Both of them lost. We should have played the one game on the spread because it was an 8-0 final that we would have won, fading Latvia. But instead, I faded Switzerland, and they lost. Sweden won 4-2, so they didn't cover the puck line. And that's the thing. The money lines are just so astronomical in these games. Right. It's just really hard to do it. But I don't think we see tired legs here today. The United States takes on Slovakia. U.S. minus 3.5 on the goal line. Total is 7.5 in that game. Canada takes on Denmark tonight. Canada minus 7.5 on the puck line.
Do both the favorites and the dogs have days off?
They're all fresh
no
here.
back-to-backs. All right.
No, the back-to-backs. It was there was only 2 games yesterday, and it was the Sweden game against Switzerland and Latvia against Finland, which was yesterday. Now Finland actually does play on the second of a back-to-back here today, and so does Sweden. And so this actually could be a bet that I like. Finland takes on Czechia, the Czech Republic.
Right.
And
Bohemia. Yep.
And Finland, it's actually Finland minus 114 on the money line, Czechia minus 106 on the money line. And so this might be a case where I might back Czechia here to win this game and fade Finland playing on the second of the back-to-back, probably with the backup goaltender in.
You think that's the only ethnicity that we share?
Is what?
Because we're both. You're part Czech, right?
I mean, probably somewhere down the line.
Oh, okay, I thought you said you were. Because I'm part Czech, so I figured like. There's like that 7 degrees of separation. I feel like that's where we come. I mean, I have something with everybody, but
yeah. I mean, there's definitely Eastern European blood in me, so I would assume that there's something from the former Soviet Union that's in there that could be parts of.
We were doing big things back in the day.
What'd you say? We
were doing big things in Bohemia.
Exactly. Sarajevo? Or no? That's Bosnia, right? Wait.
Yeah, Sofia. I have no idea.
I'm like, wait, Sarajevo is in Bosnia, but wasn't that former Czech area?
I played Beirut in college. Does that count?
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know what's going on here. Bosnia and Herzegovina, which like used to be something else, which used to be Serbia and Montenegro, and then that was a different place. Like, I don't know, these countries.
Imagine how good their basketball team would be if they could just have a regional national team. Luka, Jokic, both
Slovenian and yeah.
Bogdanoviches. Yeah, it'd be epic. They would honestly challenge the U.S. I mean, Serbia almost beat the USA anyway. Anyway,
so
it's one of those weeks in between Christmas and New Year's Day, as we were saying.
Perfect way to end the episode, Mackenzie Rivers. If your last name ends in itch, you can probably beat the U.S. in basketball. So don't forget, we got some more stuff coming up here this week. Obviously, college football playoffs. We're going to have a special college football playoff quarterfinal preview it'll release on New Year's Eve. So there won't be a new episode on New Year's Day. But that's going to be the episode for New Year's Day. It's going to be the college football playoff preview that will come out on New Year's Eve for the 1 game on New Year's Eve and the 3 games on New Year's Day. And then we'll have a newsletter article specifically for the 4-game college football playoff quarterfinals coming up later this week. For Mackenzie Rivers, I'm Scott Seidenberg. Here's hoping you make today and every day a better day.
Hi, I'm Andy Staples from Andy and Ari on 3, and another 5-star quarterback just entered the transfer portal. That's what college football is now, a nonstop adventure, and we cover it every day at Andy and Ari on 3, whether it's the transfer portal, the college football playoff, the coaching carousel, you name it, and guess what? It doesn't stop even when the season ends. So join us every day, Monday through Friday. New episodes drop at 3 p.m. wherever you get your podcasts.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening. Happy holidays. Want to give your host a gift? Consider subscribing, rating, and reviewing the show this holiday season. It really helps the show grow. From all of us at Believe, have a Merry Christmas, everyone, and a happy holiday.